Hi guys, Stacia Wino here. Welcome to your number one motivational channel. In this video, it is a second part of a video that I did, the last video that I did, and it is about the things that I have learned through my weight loss journey. And in the last video, I talked about 10 things. In this video, I'll talk about another 10. And I hope that the things that I share can maybe give you a bit of inspiration or just a bit of an idea of what to do through your weight loss journey, because these are the things that have helped me get to where I am, and are the things that continue to encourage me that I can still lose more weight and get to my goal. So I will start at one again in this video. So the first thing in this video is set your goal and write it down. You see, the thing is, if you write down what you want to do, you will have a reference point in case you forget, because you can't remember everything. So with me, what I do, actually, even right now, I have a notebook. I always write down the things I think about. I write down my goals, I write down what I've learned. Then that way, I can always have a reference point, and I can always go back and check and just say, this is what I set as my goal, this is where I've reached, this is what I've done, this is what I haven't done, this is what works for me, this is what doesn't work. So you need a reference point. If you write it down, you will have that. The second thing is, when you make a mistake, don't start from scratch, continue. You see, the thing is, most of the time, say if you decide you're doing keto and then you have a weekend where you eat all the carbs in the world, you feel like, now I'm gonna have to start afresh. Okay, I'll start afresh next week, I'll start afresh next month. That is what normally pushes us further from our goals. What I've learned is, instead of feeling like, okay, I have to start from scratch, just continue. Like at lunch, I had fries, fine. At night, I will have my grilled chicken and my salad, or my boiled meat and my soup on the side. And that's it. Don't give yourself a couple of more days to make the mistake before you go back and rectify it. The third thing I learned is, do something you can sustain long term. Now, this is something that my doctor told me, because every time I'd go to her, I'd be like, oh, I've cut out this food, I've cut out this, I've cut out that, or I'm doing this. And she'd be like, okay, interesting. How long can you do that? And that's something I see with people who do, it's okay to do a juice cleanse, but don't look at it as a means of achieving your weight loss goal. It's probably just a way of detoxifying yourself from all the junk you've been eating or something. But eating bad food, then doing juicing, and I've been in that cycle. What way can you do it in a way that it's sustainable? You can juice maybe 3 times a week. That's sustainable. You can juice every weekend. That's sustainable. But don't eat junk because you will juice. Or don't juice and think, okay, you know what, I've juiced and that's it. Do something that's sustainable. Like for me, having eggs for breakfast, and like some means of protein, and black tea, coffee, or soup to start my day, that's sustainable for me. Having animal protein as my main meal, that's sustainable for me, as opposed to doing something very radical like starving myself. I know someone who's been doing intermittent fasting, but not regularly. Like, she will eat mandazis today and then she will fast for a couple of hours, and she's like, I can't fast now, like I'm too hungry. And then, like, she just does things that are not sustainable, and it hasn't been working for her. So do something that you can do long term. Big lesson if you want your weight loss to be a lifestyle or a change that you make long term. The fourth thing is, change your habits. So for me, one of the things that I really had to change in my habits was my portions. I had to learn how to, actually, this is something Dr. Shokina does. She teaches you how to weigh your food, how to count your calories. Then that way you can tell, this is how much I've eaten in a day. So I had to change how much food I eat in a day. I had to change what I eat. So every once in a while, yes, I will have my ice cream. Every once in a while, I'll have, whatever junk. But it is not something that I do often. What I do most of the time is I will look at, if I want to snack, what's the healthiest snack I can get? If I want to eat a meal, then what did I eat in the morning? What did I eat at lunch? What should I eat at night? Then that way it becomes a lifestyle instead of becoming something that you do short term. So it's just changing your habits. I work out 2 to 3 times a week. On a good week, I can do 4 times. So I have changed my habits. If maybe you can take the stairs instead of using the lift, if you work in a building with, you know, a flight of stairs, then do that. If you can walk one way, either to or from work, then do that. So change your habits, you will notice a difference. Then the fifth thing is continuously educate yourself. Now, the thing is, there's so much information out there, and nowadays information is free. You know, you don't have to pay for a nutritionist for you to learn how to eat healthy. There's so much information online. Actually, those nutritionists have YouTube channels which you can watch and learn how to change your eating habits. Fitness gurus have, you know, videos on YouTube. You can watch these videos. You can read books to help you change your habits. You can watch other people's journeys. The people who document their journeys, I'm not very good at it, but they document their journeys from start to finish. Like, this is the day I decide to make a difference, and then they document it. And it's just amazing to watch how their lives change. You can do that. Educate yourself about what you're trying to do with yourself. Then that way you can reach your goal. Number 6 is be consistent. It is very important, and this one ties into changing your habits and doing something you can sustain long term. You need to be consistent to see change. And I know for me, sometimes one of the things that hinders me is I will do something today, and then if I notice it's working, then I'll find a way to cheat tomorrow. Not really cheat, but you know, you get my point. So sometimes I miss the mark on consistency. That's why I don't see my goals fast. I don't see myself achieve my goals faster. But I'm working on it. This is something 2020, consistency. Then number 7 is don't go too hard too fast. Sometimes I was watching a video on intermittent fasting today, and that guy was saying don't just start with fasting for 18 hours. It may be a bit difficult for you. Try maybe 12 hours, then go to 15, then go to 18. When it comes to food, maybe you cannot do a complete overhaul, but you can try and maybe take out sugar, then take out, you know, carbs in the evening, then take out something else. Then you realize, oh, I can actually do this. So don't go too hard too fast to the point where you actually feel like it's too difficult for you to sustain. The 8th thing that I learned is once you know what's healthy for you, you will eat guilt-free. This is very important because most people starve themselves because they want to eat the wrong foods. So you eat fries, then you starve yourself, then you drink soda, then you starve yourself, then you eat bread, then you starve yourself. It just doesn't work. But if, like for me, what I know works for me is eating animal protein. So which is basically keto. So the days I eat keto, I don't starve myself because I know I'm eating the right foods. They're not going to affect my weight. But when I eat the wrong foods, I find myself trying to make up for it because of that guilt. So eat the right foods, and then you will just be consistent in your diet. The 9th thing that I've learned is when you're doing well, try to stay on it for as long as possible. Now, sorry about the music. In case you hear music, something is happening somewhere in the neighborhood, but I hope you can still hear me. What I mean by if you're doing something, if you're doing well, stick on it, is sometimes you'll be doing your say you're doing intermittent fasting and the first meal you have is at 3 p.m. every day. Then maybe you go for a function somewhere and you break it. Breaking it might set you back, and then next day you may find yourself not being able to actually stick to it. So what I'd say is, if you can go to it, if you can avoid that function, well and good. If you have to go to that function and still hold yourself back until 3 and then still eat the right foods, then do that. Because sometimes I notice if I'm on a good if I'm doing well and I break it, then sometimes that's what sets me back by far. And the last thing before the music gets really, really loud is, don't stock up on the wrong foods. This is just, I think, the most basic thing ever. If you are trying to lose weight, then have the right foods. The things that are within your reach are the things that you will eat the most of. So if you have, say, ice cream in the house and you're trying to lose weight, the minute you feel hungry, the first thing you will reach for is the ice cream. Won't help you. But if you have, say, if you stock up on say your nuts and your cheese and your chicken or whatever it is that you do, your fruits, you know, you will eat the right foods. So I have to end this video because I can hear some noise coming in and you may not be able to hear me well, but those are the things that I wanted to share that I have learned through my weight loss journey. I will do more videos after this concerning my weight, because I've been getting a couple of people asking me how I've gotten to where I am. I'll keep sharing. If you have any ideas on what we can do to help us with our weight loss journeys, please share them in the comment section. If you like this video, please subscribe so that you can watch more videos that I share in my channel, on my channel, and please share. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. Bye.